Reports are trickling out now that the health care bill is still coming. It's just going to come in a different form. It's going to come in pieces, little baby chunks. Whether it's going to be in bits and pieces or a messy compromise or done in the dark of the night, we don't know yet. It's not clear. But it really doesn't matter how it comes. It just depends on when it comes, because it's all progress, okay? That's what progressive means, progress. But I want you to think about that here in the next few minutes. Progressivism, it's move the ball just a couple of yards down further in the field and then take a step. See, when you take giant steps, everybody says, whoa, 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 wait, is that? Here, this is the main difference between Marxism and progressivism. Marxism involves revolution. Progressivism involves evolution. Just baby steps, one step at a time. The difference? Revolution, evolution. Just keep evolving until we all start agreeing. And if we don't agree, well, then we're just stupid. We can't understand what's best for us. It all relates to what we know about Saul Alinsky. This is the guy who says the ends justify the means. It doesn't matter what you do, you just do whatever you have to. As long as those little baby feet just keep shuffling, making progress, and the baby steps keep coming until we finally arrive to the perfect man in society. For this reason, you cannot trust what progressives say to your face. They all follow, and now they're teaching them in school. The ends justify the means. So you have to look at what they say when they're talking to each other, and you have to put the case together. We presented this case with video evidence months ago. For example, here's Jacob Hacker, one of the people who designed health care reform. Watch.
Someone once said to me, this is a Trojan horse for single payer. And I said, well, it's not a Trojan horse, right? It's just right there. I'm telling you, we're going to get there. Over time, slowly, but we'll move away from reliance on employment-based health insurance, as we should, but we'll do it in a way that we're not going to frighten people into thinking they're going to lose their private insurance.
Okay. He was talking about a single-payer system. Marxism would have a revolution. Doesn't matter if you're scared or not. Revolution, take it. Progressivism, evolution. Trojan horse? Well, it's not really. It's all there, just slowly. Let's not forget President Obama himself, what he said.
I happen to be a proponent of a single-payer universal health care plan.
Revolutionary thought.
Health care plan, universal health care plan. That's what I'd like to see. But as all of you know, we may not get there immediately.
Okay. I'm for this. That's revolutionary. But we're not going to get there because that's a giant step. Baby steps. Baby steps. One of the baby steps over the last summer was to convince you that you would never ever lose your doctor, even though there's no way to stop that from happening. Even if they could convince you otherwise, you know, you might let this health care bill go through and then it would be too late. Watch.
Here's a guarantee that I've made. If you have insurance that you like, then you will be able to keep that insurance. If you've got a doctor that you like, you will be able to keep your doctor.
We've all heard the charge that reform will somehow bring about a government takeover of health care. I know that sounds scary to many folks. It sounds scary to me too. But here's the thing. It's not true. Under the reform we seek, if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor.
Okay. Well, we pointed out, in reality, you were going to risk losing your doctor if this thing passed. Now, never said it was going to happen right away, because I understand what the progressive movement is. It's baby steps. It would make it more and more impossible, and before you knew it, we wouldn't have any choice. This program, and me personally, attacked liars. Glenn Beck is lying. He's trying to scare people. We were just a bunch of tea-bagging insurance lobbyists. Robert Gibbs at the White House even took a stab at us when he told, quote, when he said this, quote, I think you've heard the wild accusations about what health care reform means, that you'll lose your doctor. Really? That you won't have a choice or competition, that you won't have real reform. That is, this will jack up the deficit or it won't control the cost. That's what he said. Got it? All right. Remember, we're crazy. Here's what the president said just a couple of days ago, finally admitting the truth. Listen.
We said from the start that
or that it was going to be important for us to be consistent in saying to people, if you can have if you want to keep the health insurance you got, you can keep it. That you're not going to have anybody getting in between you and your doctor in your decision making. And I think that some of the provisions that got snuck in might have violated that pledge.
Might have gotten snuck in. That's his reaction. Someone did something that was sneaky. Really? What was the charge on this program? What did we say? You must not let any of this pass. 2,000-page bills, you don't know what's in it. How do you know what's in it? Don't let any of it pass because there might be pieces in there. No. Crazy man, remember? Here's the president turned into a liar on the legislation that is supposed to be the centerpiece of his presidency, and he didn't look furious. Would you be? If you were telling the truth, wouldn't you be? If you didn't know that we were going to take baby steps and evolve in it, if you weren't hiding things. But all the hemming, the hawing, the qualifying, the disclaiming aside, this is the familiar pattern. We say something, we get attacked by the White House and or their lackeys in the media, and then we're proven correctly, quietly, off the front pages. Now the president says he's trying to stop the evil, sneaky people for all of their sneakiness. You mean these people? But is he? Perhaps if the process were transparent and the negotiations were on C-SPAN like he promised, we could tell you for sure, but we don't know. Who did it? Who put it in there? Regardless, our point about individuals losing their doctors was called a wild accusation by the White House. And we now know, thanks to the president, that Congress or someone built it into the legislation. Our wild accusation turns out to be true. You will see this played out over and over and over again. This is just the beginning, and this is just the latest example. So remember what happened here. Let this burn into your memory, because you're going to see it a lot. We said you'd lose your doctor. Next step, they do everything they can to destroy us, discredit. Oh, did you hear about crazy whatever? Third step, the president admits it. There it is. Another one of the crazy theories supported by video evidence, ignored, insulted, and eventually proven correct. Back in a second. All right, when Al Gore created the internet, I don't think he had any idea what he was bringing about. He brought about the eventual demise of smarmy politicians. I mean, think how many careers YouTube has ended already. You remember George Allen? Yeah, he might have been president until he said this.
This fellow here over here with the yellow shirt, Macaca, or whatever his name is.
That didn't work out well. We live in a different time now, and people have amazing access to information. Hurry while it lasts. The only way politicians can get away with anything is if people are asleep. It's interesting, on a completely unrelated side note, did you see the president say to the Democrats to stop watching CNN and Fox and watch the news? Yeah. Anyway, they'll get away with everything if we're asleep, but we're not. We're waking up. We are not falling into the games and the empty changing word game or the vague game that they play. I mean, we just showed you the doctor example, where they were saying, you're not going to lose your doctor. Guess what? You're going to lose your doctor. That was the president. He just found that. Somebody slipped it in. How about this one? Do you remember this term? I love this one. Saved or created jobs.
Created and saved 2 million jobs. These steps have saved or created about 2 million jobs so far.
The estimates range from 2 to 2.4 million jobs saved or created.
Wow, that's a lot of saved jobs. What is the metric exactly on that? I've never seen that before. It's interesting. Be able to save 3.5 million jobs. That's what the stimulus bill was supposed to. Save or create jobs. Yeah. Once again, pesky internet thing highlighted stories like the $1,000 lawnmower that supposedly saved 50 million jobs. Yeah, I haven't figured that one out. Neither did America, so that's a fraud. Back to the drawing board. The solution? It's easy. Stimulus bill. I hate the stimulus bill. We got a jobs bill. Jobs bill. Oh, okay. Jobs bill. As long as it's not the stimulus bill, I'm okay. I didn't think of that. I mean, we're not 4 years old. It's a jobs bill now. Watch.
The other thing I'll point out is we now have are working on we're told not to call it another stimulus bill, call it a jobs bill.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. So the jobs bill is a stimulus bill. Oh, by the way, saved or created? No. No, they're not going to do that anymore. No. Now the president's just going to focus on green jobs. Green jobs.